Planning an immigration journey without a solid roadmap is a bit like driving cross country with no GPS, no map, and of course, no idea where the gas stations are. Sure, you might make it to your destination if you're lucky, but more likely you'll end up lost, frustrated, and stuck in some tiny town with no Wi-Fi and no way to get out. Today we're tackling a crucial topic and why you need a well thought out immigration plan, and more importantly, how to avoid the common mistakes while giving you a few pointers on how best to proceed. Hey folks, it's Brandon Miller here from the Maple team. So, you've decided to take the big leap into Canada. Fantastic. But let's get real for a second. Getting here without a plan is like jumping out of an airplane with a parachute that you haven't checked. You might land safely, but you could just as easily find yourself in free fall, scrambling to pull a ripcord that may or may not work. So, let's get into why a well thought out immigration plan from the start is not only helpful, it's absolutely imperative. Many people think the hardest part of immigration is just getting to Canada, and I disagree. They focus all their energy on the visa, the work permit, or the study permits. But let me ask you this. What's your next step once you arrive here? If you haven't planned beyond setting foot on Canadian soil, you're setting yourself up for some rough waters. Without a detailed roadmap, some amazing up-to-date intel, you'll likely end up like a tourist in a foreign city, clutching an outdated guidebook. Again, let's break down why having a plan is not just good practice, but it's essential for thriving in Canada long term. Let's start with something I like to call Basecamp Mentality. Picture this, you're about to climb Mount Everest and your only plan is to make it to base camp. Sounds reasonable, right? Well, no. Here's the problem. You can't live at base camp forever, and base camp is just one stop on the journey to the mountain summit. When it comes to immigration, just getting to Canada, that's base camp. It's not the summit, and it's really not good enough. People who think I'll figure it out when I get there, well, those are the same people that find themselves stuck in dead-end jobs, confused and panicking when they run out of time to secure their permanent residency. And these would be the same people who, if they were climbing the mountain, would meet with serious catastrophic issues. And sadly, I know this as they come to me, and I try to help them, but sometimes it's not possible. Guys, I want you to hang with me for a little bit longer. Without a detailed plan, your dreams of living in Canada could turn into a nightmare very quickly. Let me ask you this, and I'm talking real talk right now. Do you really want to come here and struggle? Do you really want to do worse than where you came from? Think about it. I know everyone's positive, well, it happens, and unfortunately, I've seen it up close and it's super ugly. The sad part is that you could have avoided all of this if only you've taken the time to plan accordingly. You get proper advice and you educate yourselves on the realities of a full and comprehensive migration plan. Imagine this, you land a job through a work permit, but it's in a lower skill category. Let's say you're working as a cashier or a housekeeper. Those jobs don't directly help you qualify for permanent residency. A year into the job, you realize that all this time you spent working isn't helping you climb towards your PR application. Now you're in a bind because you're essentially wasting a year and you have no pathway forward. With no plan in place, you're stuck in a survival job that doesn't unlock any of the doors to a future in Canada. And frankly, with the cost of things now, you could do a lot better money and expense-wise in other places in the world. So my previous example of the housekeeper or cashier, it's not just isolated to that. It could happen with any job. The solution? From day one, your plan should include an understanding of how your current job or field helps you with your future immigration goals, if that's what you're looking for. It's about playing the long game. You're not here just to survive short term. So before you settle for a job just to pay the bills, ask yourself if it's going to help you get to your ultimate goal, permanent residency, and have a full plan with backup plans in place while having a full grasp of your timelines. Now here's the fun part. Immigration laws and policies change faster than you could say express entry. One minute you're on track to get your PR, the next minute, bam, they've changed the requirements, and suddenly you're no longer eligible. Think of it like running on a treadmill that's randomly changing speeds. You're either keeping up or you're flying off the back. Immigration is dynamic, and if you're not prepared to adapt, you could find yourself in a constant state of catch-up. That's why having a plan is key. A good plan accounts for potential changes and gives you options, while looking at other things that may or may not go your way. Flexibility, adaptability, they're your best friends. And if you're too rigid, you can only see one way forward, you're going to have a rough time, because when the system throws you a curveball, you're going to have no way of reacting. Take, for example, the Caregiver program. That was once a pathway for PR. It used to be straightforward, complete 2-year requirement, get your PR. But then they changed it. Now, if you're only paying attention to the program updates, you might find out a little too late that the cap had been reached or the rules had shifted. It's going to leave you stuck in limbo. So let's be real. I talk to a lot of people about coming to Canada with the goal of getting permanent residency any way they can. It's almost like they think PR is the end of the journey, like reaching the top of that metaphorical mountain. But here's the reality check. PR isn't the summit. It's not the finish line. It's just another step on the path, and it's an important one at that. The goal is long-term happiness and success in your new country. If you don't have a plan for what comes after PR, or if you haven't even thought about it, you're doing yourself a huge disservice. Let me give you another example. Let's talk about nurses, as I deal with a lot of them. So let's say you're a nurse in your home country, but you come to Canada, you take a lower skilled job to get by while you're working towards your PR. The problem? Once you've secured your PR, you've been out of healthcare field for so long that getting back into it becomes a monumental challenge, and you're going to have to go back to the beginning. The job you really want is out of reach because you didn't plan how to maintain your skills while working towards your immigration goals. Sure, you might be doing better than you were in your homeland, but are you truly happy? Are you finding the fulfillment in the work that you're doing? Well, that's something you're going to have to think about, and you're going to have to think about it really hard. While we're talking about all these things, another component of a plan is something else that I want to talk about. Time is your biggest enemy in an immigration process, or your biggest asset, but it's absolutely something you should plan for. For example, every year you age, your points in Express Entry decrease. Every delay you experience brings you closer to your work permits expiring or program caps being reached. But here's the good news. Time can also be your greatest asset if you manage it well. Just like a pilot making small adjustments to stay on course, you can use the time to your advantage by staying informed, being proactive, and adapting to changes. Think of it like this. You've got a 3-year work permit and you think that's plenty of time to figure things out. But then life happens. Your job isn't qualifying you for PR, or you didn't realize how competitive the Express Entry pool is going to be, and then suddenly you're in your final year scrambling to find a pathway to stay in the country. It's like cramming for an exam the night before. Sure, it might work out, but why risk it? Plan your time wisely, guys. Know your deadlines and know the changes in policy, and have a backup for your backup. So, with all that said, what's your plan? Not just for getting to Canada, but thriving once you're here. Because let's face it, surviving is easy. Thriving takes strategy. Drop a comment below and let me know what steps you've taken to ensure your success. And remember, just landing in Canada isn't the end game. It's the beginning. Also, if you want to get a plan sorted out, I have some really good ways to get you sorted out with your own personalized plan, which not only help you with your immigration goals, but it helps you get to the real top of the mountain. Now, if you found this video helpful, don't just stay on the bench. Get in the game and join the community. Join the Maple team. I need you to hit that like, subscribe, and turn on notifications button so we can navigate this journey together. And as always, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.